Here we go. Today we're going to do numbers 7 through 11. Okay. So the first one, look at your green sheet. How would you ask number 7? Good. Everybody. Welche Augenfarbe und Haarfarbe hast du? What do you think that means? Which something something.
It's a question, that's all I know.
Sehr schön. Yeah.
Thank you.
What do you think Haar means?
Hard.
Hair. Boom, yeah. The Beckham poster's helpful with that. Okay, looking back at the Beckham poster, what does Augen mean then? There you go. Which eye color and hair color do you have? Okay, so quick recap cards in case you need that. Okay, if you're doing them directly on your cards. So remember, front side is the question only. Okay, pronunciation and an indicator as to the level is acceptable, but the back side is where you have everything else. Okay, so welchen Augenfarbe und Haarfarbe hast du? What eye and hair color do you have? Okay. And this class doesn't usually have people who randomly dye their hair, so that's helpful. But keep in mind, if you are someone who potentially would dye your hair before the final, you will have to change it so it matches whatever you say that day. Okay? I had a student who used to dye his hair, I kid you not, every week. I don't know how he still had hair. Had to have been like severely damaged, but it would change drastically. So it'd be pink one week and black the next, and then like bleach blonde the next. It was just, sometimes it was rainbow, so be aware. Finals week, whatever you have when you sit up in front of finals, that's what you should say on your card. Okay? Yeah, I mean, if the swim team, yeah, if it was closer to section time or something, then yep, they would. Okay? But that time frame is passed, so. Okay? Alright, so when you answer that one, there are 2 ways that you can answer it. Okay? So, first of all, ich habe. What does that mean? I have. You're going to insert a color here with the letter E at the end of it. It's called an adjective ending. You don't need to know how to do it. You just need to know that you do it. Okay? Okay. I don't care which order you do it. So you could do the Augen first and then the Haar, or vice versa, because they'll look essentially the same. Okay? So you would insert just whatever color you need in there. So for example, ich habe, if you are blonde, spelled the same. We'll get there. Patience is a virtue. Okay? So blonde, and then add the E, so it's blonde Haare. Okay? Brown is just brown. Okay, we've done the colors before, yes? Whoa, okay. Alright. And so I'll do a whole new slide with colors. Okay? So here's your fill in the blank options. Okay? So colors. Okay? For right now, write that down so you can fill in the blanks later. Okay? Here we go. Colors. So the word for colors is Farben, okay, which you've already seen. Colors are pretty simple. Okay? So you've already seen blau. So that's blue. Okay. You'll need the colors for some other stuff later today, so everybody's writing this down, right, Tom? Okay. Brown is pronounced the same, it's spelled differently. Anybody know the word for black?
Black. Schwarz.
Schwarz. Mm-hmm.
That's close. Cherokee.
Okay. Everybody try that one. Schwarz.
Schwarz.
Yeah. What about red? Anyone know that one?
Red.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. None of them are the same as English, so we can just stop that now. Wrote. Like you wrote a letter or an email. Okay. Everybody try that one. Wrote.
Rose.
Okay. So if you have red hair, that would be one that you would use there as well. Try that one. Grün.
Green.
What do you think? Green. You won't need this one for eye or hair color, but you might need it for something else. Try that one. Gelb. Yellow. Alright. This one looks the same, it's pronounced differently. I said they're not the same, which this isn't. You don't say orange, because you've been pronouncing everything that you tried to guess as if it were English. It's not the same. So try it. Orange. Okay? If you're using it to say that you have orange hair, for example, then you'd say orange. So you add the E to it. Okay? Try that one. Lila. Any Futurama fans? It might help you remember, because Lila, the character, has purple hair. Okay, so lila means purple. It's also similar to lilac. It helps other people as well. Alright. How do you say pink in Spanish? How do you say Zoidberg? Wow. How do you say pink in Spanish?
Pink? No.
Rosa.
Point.
Rosa.
Love Rosa.
Not the rose. Just rosa.
It's the song. Love Sosa.
Okay.
White.
Yep. Try that one. Vice.
Nice.
Yeah. So that one is white. We're going to be doing one about houses today, so these are good house colors. But as far as the colors go for hair and stuff like that, I think you have what you need at this point. Ever try that one? Grau.
Growl.
Gray. EY or AY, it depends on your version. Okay. What other colors do we need here? Oh, for the house one, you'll want this one later. So Wesley, you should know. I'm going to retract what I said, because I wasn't expecting to give you this one.
Is it beige?
It is beige. It's pronounced the same. It's spelled the same. It's a beautiful thing. So as long as you know how to spell it in English, usually that's where people struggle the most. So, okay, so beige is beige.
Equivalent of beige hair TV, it's like tan. That'd be like sand hair, sandy hair, like how some people have it.
We're keeping it simple. We're not going like strawberry blonde or dirty blonde or sandy blonde or jet black. We're just going basic.
Diapers, like when your hair
Just put down the majority of your hair, whatever color that is. Okay.
if you're bald, you have a kind of aura.
Are we good? Okay. Did anybody have any questions? Shh. On how to answer that one? I think we're gonna restrict it to just the one way to answer it. It'll make your life a little bit easier anyway. Okay. All right. Moving on. Nummer 8. How do you ask it? Everybody, wo wohnst du? What's that mean? Where do you live? This is your question. Okay? So, Gesundheit. Here we go. Schönheit. Ich wohne in. Okay, so everybody's going to start the same way.
What if I'm not comfortable?
Don't then you're going to be done with the whole test, Wesley. Because this is all about you and your family. You're going to put the city name there. So odds are good it's going to be Rosemont or Inver Grove Heights or Farmington or whatever. Maybe Apple Valley. And then Minnesota. Germans almost pronounce Minnesota like people from Fargo might if you do the exaggerated accent thing. So Minnesota. Okay? Yep. So everybody try. Insert your accurate city when you say that one. Okay? Ich wohne in Rosemont, Minnesota. Okay, the full sentence. Everybody. Ich wohne in Rosemont, Minnesota.
Ich wohne in Rosemont, Minnesota.
Okay. That's part one. This is a long answer. You got a ways to go yet. Everyone is going to have the exact same sentence for the next one. Okay? Das ist ein Vorort von St. Paul. What do you think that means? Das ist ein Vorort von St. Paul.
South of St. Paul.
That is a suburb of St. Paul. Okay? Because most Germans won't have a clue where Rosemont or Apple Valley or whatever is. Okay? If you tell them where St. Paul is, they might know it because it's the capital. If they don't know where St. Paul is, tell them you live near Mall of America, and they will know. Okay? It's kind of sad, but it's true. Okay. So das ist ein Vorort von St. Paul. Everybody try that. Das ist ein Vorort von St. Paul.
Das ist ein Vorort von St. Paul.
There you go. Okay? Everybody starts the same way. Ich wohne in, so you recognize that from up above. You're going to add the word der next. Okay. Then stop once you get to the der, I'll explain the rest and you can fill in your info. Just stop once you get to the der and I will explain the rest. Already said. Okay. So you're going to give your street and your house number. Let me clarify how this works. Whatever the boulevard or the trail or the court or the way or the alley or whatever is, you're going to chop that off and you're going to put the word Strasse there. So it's already up on the board. Okay. If you have a numbered street, I will help you with that. If you have the half or the north or the south or the east, get rid of all of those details. Go for a very, very basic answer. Okay? So no northeast, southwest. We're not going to mess with that today. Okay? So, for example, ich wohne in der Sesamstraße. I live on Sesame Street. Okay? Sometimes it feels like it. When you get to the number, how you do your number is up to you. Okay? It needs to be your house number, but you know, house numbers down in this neck of the woods tend to be long, right? You can do it however it feels natural and easy to you. So if you have a 5-digit number, you could just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the actual numbers are. Or you could say, 17, 46, 7, or whatever. How you phrase it is up to you. But on that line, after Nummer, you need to write in your house number, spell out the things. Again, if you're talking about the street number, it's like 145th. I'll get to that in a second. Wes? So you get rid of path and you just put Everest Strasse.
Okay. This is just kind of like a writing thing, but is the street and then Strasse, is that one word or 2 words?
You'll see it both ways actually.
Okay.
So I'll take either.
My street is Upper 138th Street, so should I keep...
You'll get rid of upper and then put Strasse and then I'll help you with the number part in a second here. Okay? So you could do, just put little dashes between them if you're doing multiple numbers, because kind of doubt you're going to say like 16,451 or something like that. So between your numbers, however you're writing them, just put little dashes. So again, no northeast, southwest, no upper, no lower, no boulevard, all those things. Okay? How many of you have an address on a numbered street? Just one of you? Or you do too? Okay, so that's 2. That's it? Okay. Can I move on past this slide so I can get to the numbers for people? All right. Number people, please note that I'm sorry in advance. Okay? But I will keep it in mind when it comes grading time. Okay? So you will say the full number. So is it 100 something? Okay? So you'll start with 100. Okay? And then whatever the 2 digits are, so 45th or something like that. So then you would say 45 if it was 45th. All one word. And then if you remember back to the one about the birthday, since it's a number above 20, you add STEN to the end of it. And then Strasse. Yep. But if it's on a longer one like this, and there's a smaller flub up and they have something like that they have to master, balances out. So it means I'm going to be harder on the people who don't have a long thing to say. Okay? So there are pros and cons to it. Okay? So that one was, what did I say, 145th. Does that make sense? Okay. So when I get your card, I'll double check the address with you and make sure you got everything down. Okay? All right. That is the end of the hard one.
That's not too bad.
Okay? So when you're practicing things, once you get this one checked, start practicing it over and over and over and over again. Okay? All right, let's move on. Number 9, how do you ask it? Good. Everybody, in was für einem Haus wohnst du? Let's try that again. In was für einem Haus wohnst du? Any idea what it means? On the right track. Was für means what kind. So what kind of house do you live in? Okay. So. Okay. We start with this. So ich wohne in. And then you'll fill in a blank. And I'll give you some options first. Okay, so don't fill in that blank until you know which one works for you. Okay, so the most common answer is einem. Check your spelling carefully on this. Ein Familienhaus. That is a single family home. Okay, so what that is defined as is a house that you do not share a wall with another house. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so the size of the house is irrelevant, the style of house is irrelevant, other than you don't share a wall with another house. Okay, so that's choice number 1. Choice number 2. Einem Doppelhaus. Any idea what that would be? Close. It's a duplex. Doppel, double. So there's 2 homes. So there's only 2 homes that share one wall in common. Okay? Next one. Einem Reihenhaus. Try that. Einem Reihenhaus. What do you think that one is? That's a townhome. Literally a row home. Okay? So that would be a complex of houses that have multiple together. So if you're in a 4-plex, for example, a quad or whatever they call those things, we'll qualify that into this category. So more than one, or more than 2 that share walls. Okay? Last one. Note that it is not an M anymore. Now it is an R. Don't want to worry about why. Just trust me on it. Okay? Try that. Eine Wohnung. And that one is an apartment. Okay? If you're not sure which one you should put down, we can chat during work time. Okay? But that is the end of that question. So it's a nice, easy, short one. Okay. Nummer 10. How do you ask that one? Good. Everybody. Beschreib dein Haus. What do you think? Describe your house. Because it's not a question, it's a command. Yeah. So you dusted it off, made a command. So describe your house. Okay? So might want to jot down a pronunciation tip on the beschreib. Because a lot of people will say beschreib, but that's not it. It's beschreib. Okay? Beschreib dein Haus. Okay. Alright, here we go. Whether you live in a house, an apartment, whatever, just go with the general concept. Okay? So mein Haus ist. Okay? So my house is.
I'd say walls.
I will tell you what to fill in. So for now, focus on what I'm telling you to put in. Okay? Leave a blank for the size of house. I'll tell you how to figure that out later. Okay. And then you have a comma. And then you have a color. And a comma. There's going to be a number in here. Smaller number. Stock is the word for floors, the number of floors, and we'll talk about how to figure that out later. Okay. I'm going to put another number in here. And that last word is pronounced Schlafzimmer. What do you think Schlafzimmer means? Bedrooms. Okay, so put in the blanks and I'll go on to the next slide to give you the missing words that you need here. Okay, but it'll be mein Haus ist, and then a size, and then a color, und hat, and then a number, and then Stock. Es hat blank Schlafzimmer. Okay. For the color, you do not need to add an E to the end, so it'll just be blau or beige. Beige already has an E, but you won't say it, okay? Schwarz or gelb or rot or whatever, okay? So, let's start with the color. If you have more than one color on your house, you're welcome to list it, but pick the main color that is the requirement. Okay, so I know especially in like Cobblestone Lake area or whatever, they're very colorful these days. Okay, so if you want to list more than one, you're welcome to, but one is the requirement. Okay? Don't get super detailed. Don't try and tell me it's like aquamarine or something. Just tell me it's blue. Okay? Keep it basic. Okay? The bedrooms. How you count the bedrooms may or may not be equal to what you think you have. So a lot of students have found out over the years that they don't actually have a legitimate bedroom according to the government. Okay? In order to be considered a bedroom, it has to have a window you can escape out of, and it has to have a built-in closet. Okay? If you have a den or an office or something that you're using as that, but you want to count it as a bedroom because it meets the qualifications, that's fine. The reality is, am I going to come to your house and verify how many bedrooms you have? No, I am not. Okay? As far as the number of levels, I would count it as number of levels that you live in that are finished. If you have an unfinished basement, don't count it. If it's a finished basement that you are constantly in, count it. If you have like the multi-level, like split level thing, count whatever is appropriate for you. Do you know what I mean? Again, I'm not coming to your house to find out. Okay? But this is based on your house, so get it the most accurate that you can. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay. As far as the size, how we're going to determine size is based on the number of bedrooms. Okay? If you have 1 to 2 bedrooms, and that blank you will put the word klein, so small. If you have 3 to 4, medium will be called mittelgroß, literally middle large. And if you have 5 or more, then you will say groß. Okay? So you could say, mein Haus ist klein. Okay? And that means that you have 1 to 2 bedrooms. So later with the Schlafzimmer, you should have 1 or 2 in front of it.
What if we have like a larger house, dude? Like I only have 3 bed. I only have 3 bed.
We are basing it on what I just told you. I don't care the size of the bedrooms. Okay, we're basing it purely on the number of bedrooms. By German standards, even if you live in an apartment, you have a large house. Germans have very small houses on the whole. And so they come here and think everything is a McMansion. Which kind of is. Okay. Are we good on that one? Okay. Last one for today. Nummer 11. How do you ask it? Good. Everybody. Woher kommst du? Everybody. Woher kommst du? Wow, everybody's different. Everybody is not the same as mine. What does it mean?
Where do you come from?
Yep. This one, you're going to answer, well, how many of you were not born in Minnesota? Where were you born?
Colorado.
Texas.
I remember that from the...
Alabama.
Okay. You can answer with the state that you were born in, okay? If you prefer to answer that you're from Minnesota, that's fine too. I don't really care. Okay?
I'm from Liberia.
Wesley, just stop talking. Okay, so you'll start it with Ich komme aus. Insert state. So Colorado and Texas, they aren't spelled differently or anything like that in German. So some states are, like California is, North and South Dakota, those kinds of things. Okay, so Ich komme aus Minnesota in den USA. That's the end of that one. Okay? Now, reminder, tomorrow is the due date for your first 6 questions. If you have them done today and I didn't check you off yesterday, then get them in order with the question on top. So, wie heißt du mit Vornamen und Nachnamen should be in the very top of your stack, question facing up, all the way through number 6, the wie groß bist du. So I'm going to check those off first. Once I've got those checked off for anybody who needs them checked off, then I'll start checking off the 7 through 11 for those of you who did them in class today. Okay? Fragen? Okay, the 1 through 6 will come up here in a second.